Yo, yo. So I wanted to make a quick update video on where I'm at currently, um, just for documentation purposes and going forward, where I want to go and stuff like that. I know it's been a while. The last time I was on here, it was, I think, beginning of June or end of May. Um, yeah, I was in Hawaii and I filmed the video on the beach, and I was kind of just figuring stuff out still. And authentically, just to put it out there, I still am figuring it out. Uh but I've learned way more kind of like where, like, really myself I want to go. But basically, yeah, I think last time I was in Hawaii, I was dealing with some mold stuff. And to recap, kind of just from there, what happened between then was I was recovering from some mold. I think at that time when I posted the video, I was kind of like getting over it. I still had like some side effects of it and stuff like that. But yeah, fast forward from there, I ended up going to Dallas. Came here. I'm actually currently in Dallas now. But went to Dallas for 3 weeks. I enjoyed it. I saw some opportunity. There was a guy that I got inspired by to do real estate, to come here for real estate. But I'll talk about that um, in a second. So basically, after that, I went to Dubai. Um, Amazing trip, amazing trip. It was beautiful, very inspiring, and just like kind of just observing what the world really has to offer. And then from there, I went back to Barcelona for the last couple months of being there. Um, but honestly, the first months back, it was pretty good. I was just enjoying life, good moments. But then the mold kind of kicked in again. I got sick, mentally pretty bad. Then I went to London for a week to visit my boy L. Shout out L. We had a good time. I actually kind of recovered there too, so it was great to just kind of breathe some air. Barcelona in the summer kind of gets a little bit congested, so it's kind of my boy lives outside of London, um, so that was cool to just kind of sit there with the greenery and stuff. It wasn't too hot. London was a good trip. Came back to Barcelona, and I wanted to be there presently with my boys and my friends. I had some old friends come and visit me. But it was just, I was just, that mold was hitting me so hard. I was kind of going into like that kind of like psychological weirdness where you see life from a window and doesn't mean anything type thing. Yeah, mold can really do that to you. I learned a lot about mold just being going through it. Um, a lot of just like reality weirdness and just like being irritated with everything that's happening around you. Nothing made sense. So yeah, I decided my friends went to Portugal, and then I just kind of stayed home because I had to pack um, everything to go back to the States. And so I came back, dropped my luggages off here with a connection in Dallas, and then went back to my parents' house for a bit, recovered. It took me actually a while to just recover from the mold entirely. I thought it just took like 2 weeks, but looking back, it was like 2 months. And then yeah, I went up to my girlfriend's family's house, and then I flew down here to Dallas by myself. And so the original reason I wanted to come down here was to do real estate, invest in real estate. And by the time I got back down here, it was kind of like my connection that I had over here. He had some personal issues and personal family matters that happened, and we had to put it on pause for a bit. So I mean, in God's way, it was telling me, this might not be for you. My mom's a realtor, but I've always kind of enjoyed the real estate world and stuff like that, but never found a passion there for me. Um, because you have to be situated. I'm not a person that wants to be situated. But going from there, I was living by myself. I went through from, I think it was October to, I rented a Airbnb, kind of a weird Airbnb. Funny enough, it had a little bit of mold. And it was just dirty. 4 dogs, in a room. Was what an experience. Yeah, it was crazy. And from there, I ended up got my first kind of gig off Craigslist. I got I ended up doing window light putting up. So I put it like not window light, Christmas lights. And starting in early November, started putting those up, making some good cash. It was decent. Like I was making like 230 a day. It was long hours though. And I was working like 6 days a week. So, but it did help me pay the bills, just getting from paying all the stuff from moving. So, I have to do what I have to do. And then I picked up a delivery job from Amazon. And yeah, I did that through the holidays. They gave me through the holidays. And went back to Christmas, enjoyed some time with my family. Came back here to Dallas. And yeah, and then finally I started training through my VAR job. I don't know if I mentioned this in July last year or whenever I posted the last video, that I did get a VAR position for the MLS. Pretty cool gig. I'm an operator in like the booth and stuff like that, do games and stuff like that. So that's the main reason that kind of kept me here in Dallas. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be here, because it's something I'm passionate about, soccer, football. So um, it's got to be changed to football. Um, but yeah, from there I've done training. So I did my last preseason game, which was last weekend. Today's the 16th of February. So yeah, it's been almost a year since that Hawaii video, and I did my last VAR job, VAR operator replay. Kind of what I honestly I don't even remember what the position is, but basically I'm like a VAR in the booth, and I did refereed. I think it was Atlanta versus Dallas, a preseason game, but that was canceled due to thunder. I did like I think 10 minutes of it max, but I got to make some cool people, some refs that flew in from Salt Lake City. Shout out to them, they were cool dudes. And now I'm here, yeah. But since then, um, I've been just figuring it out. Basically, what I have been going through authentically, just figuring out really what really am wanting to do. Um, I've been finding now that I'm kind of settled and stuff. I have a lot more time to think about it, and it's a lot of up and downs. I've got to say, just trying to understand my mind and my life and like what everything I've been doing for, like the motive behind it. But basically, I found out that just to understand, I've been doing a lot of research on understanding the mind, neuroscience, and psychology, Carl Jung, stuff like that, and understanding myself is that I've been living kind of like a fake life that I haven't been really truly living for myself. I wanted to get into finance. I wanted to, I went as far as trying to look into being a pilot because these things were kind of stable. I knew if I got into them, if I just stayed in them for 10 years, I know I'd be making like 200, 300K. And by the time I'm 35, so it's like a safety net. But then I kind of looked at like, what are the real motives? Because like I know what my path is gonna look like for the next 10 years, and to me, I'm like, fuck that shit. Um, yeah, I didn't really resonate with nothing. Really resonated with me career wise. I've always been kind of a freedom guy who's been wanting to make money here and there. I've never really stuck with anything, which was kind of something I'm learning to get over. So I'm finally just this is that video. This is what kind of like that video is for. But yeah, I really want to make some kind of business online, and so that's what I'm going to be building throughout these videos. I'm just going to be posting my journey authentically of what it's really like to build a successful mindset within this industry. My parents are moving to Spain, and I want to be closer to my family. I just moved from Spain, I know, but I love it there. That's my spot. I love Europe, and so one of my goals for the next 2 years is just try to make something online, learn marketing. I'm already good kind of with sales. I could do better with that, but yeah, I'm leaning maybe towards some coaching businesses. I'm pretty fit. I'm health wise. I'm not in my most prime physique, but I will get there. That's something that that's been in and out. I've been there would be series of months in the past, since the last time I posted where I just work out and then take a couple weeks off and kind of work out. And so it's been the slow thing just because I haven't been like motivated to do it because I'm trying to figure out really what I want to do. So like, and like working out in my head back then was like, oh yeah, well this is not leading to anything fulfilling like money wise. So then I kind of understood. I went to the deep dive about time, and so like how like time was just kind of weird orthodox thing because it's like, I was thinking about like, in 5 years, 5.5 years, 6 years, I'll be 30. And what happens if I'm just not where I want to be, or like, stable with a good income, house and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I think I'd be depressed, and like I don't want to be in the same place, and like just like feeling stuck and stuff like that, and like I want to actually build something. But then I was just like, who actually put that time frame around that and constraint? And that was just my ego. So I've been learning a lot about my ego and about everything from my past, how I've been just kind of living from my ego, and just it's been protecting me from actually going fighting between my real self of pursuing the things that I really want to do, and actually going for like a career in finance or sales or something like that, and giving it 10 years and making a shit ton of money. But I was like, what does the money really do for me if I just wasted 10 years and I'm rich? And like, what? I would have rather tried and built a brand, a wellness and fitness brand that I really want to pursue and get more knowledge about. I'm into, getting into neuroscience and stuff like that, and how to change your identity and stuff like that. And that's something I will be showing through authentically through this channel. Um, Building more confidence, building more of my physique, health wise, everything is going to be shown on this channel. So um, I will be giving tips on stuff like that. My mom's a nutritionist, so I've always been kind of really a healthy person, but I did go through a very unhealthy phase of my life, so I kind of know the both sides. I was very skinny. I was probably like 120 pounds at like 18, maybe 110. But yeah, now we good. Um, Not at the prime, but I'm getting there. This year, by summer, I'll be there. But yeah, I'm gonna be experimenting just a lot of health stuff. I'm researching about a lot of that stuff, and that's kind of my passion. I've always been kind of into that stuff, and I always come back to it. And I'm like, all right, well, let's experiment 6 months. Let's see where this can go. And yeah, if you're ever feeling behind or stuck in life, you're gonna see kind of like this transformational thing, because I've kind of pinpointed now where the um, psychological barriers are that are holding me from being where I want to be, just because of fears that my ego is protecting me from pursuing. For example, like you know, from maybe some experiences that happened in my past that I don't want to feel again. Pain things, just like failure, or fear of failure, of like trying something and like being looked at as like, oh well, he's not, like he didn't make it or some shit, whatever. It goes deeper than that, but basically that's it. Um, I'll be teaching all that stuff, and experiencing it and learning new things. I just want to document this and just be like, yeah, like if my kids see this, or if my family sees it, or my brother sees it, or even one person, a friend, or one person that I can just kind of like relate to, and just they see this and they get some kind of something good from it and put it towards their life, I think that'll fulfill me just even by itself. Like, you know, and just being fruitful, um, and trying to follow like God's path more, stuff like that. So uh, I'll be getting more into that as well. But yeah, that's the update. And this time I'm gonna, I remember last video I said I was gonna be doing stuff, but honestly I wasn't in the right place to build a brand or social media content, and I just want to get better. Excuse me, my voice is getting, my throat's getting dry from talking so much. But just getting better at communicating on camera, me, you know, getting across teachings, messages, experience, thoughts and stuff like that. I think that I'll go very deep in this channel just because I'm trying to get more authentic with who I am. So I want to document it, like where I was, and be like, wow, for myself. So, and for everyone who wants to watch, I want to help people. I want to do coaching in the future. So possibly involving neuroscience and identity work with health and nutrition. I feel like I got the health and nutrition part down, so um, I'll be doing I'll be trying to help some people get through that. So I'll get some references, and I'll be building some strategy stuff like that through the next 6 months. That's my goal. Learn marketing, learn more about where this industry is gonna go. But yeah, plan is to really that goal is just to be closer to my family, make some money online, and enjoy life at a slower pace. Not necessarily, when I say slower pace, not necessarily being slow at doing things or procrastinating, but more taking the time to really enjoy what's in front of me, being present, and making the decisions that are from the inside and not from the outside. So yeah, this is Two Flow. Lock in, lock in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna try to post every day, as much as I can. I do be working a lot, part about every day. So I'm going to. This is gonna be my main priority, and just give it a good experience for 6 months. Don't put a time limit, and we'll see where it goes. Peace out.